I'm on the Carolina Thread Trail today. It's running on the 12-mile creek trail. So 12-mile creek is on the side of the trail. We go right up next to it some of the time. We cross over it, but we currently can't see it. So it's 4 miles each way, so it's an out and back. Lots of green, good variety of trees. We cross, depending on which way you go. It's your crossover North and South Carolina. So you start in one state, go to the other, and finish back in the state you started. So kind of a unique thing. They have a swinging bridge at that point with a sign. So pretty neat aspect of the trail. Lots of little trees growing. It's a very easy trail overall. Not completely flat, but not a whole lot of elevation. And nothing huge in the way of obstacles like roots or rocks. So nice walk for just a stroll in the afternoon. It's neat. You don't have to get wet at all on this trail. They have plenty of bridges and whatever you need to just stay on the trail. And there's a marker, shows it's Carolina Thread Trail. Pretty awesome. They have a sign at the, that's a neat tree. Very wide and splits off into two. They have a sign at the beginning telling us that the Carolina Thread Trail goes through 15 counties. It connects 15 counties in North and South Carolina. Threads its way through. Cute little flowers growing. Lots of yellow flowers out there. Not close enough to them to see what they are. They have the look of a black-eyed Susan, but the center doesn't quite look like that. So it's something else. We had an incredible drop in temperature from yesterday to today. Yesterday was the mid-90s and very sunny. Very slight breeze that then increased as storms came in last night in the evening. Today it didn't go higher than 74, 75, and it's been basically cloud covered the whole day. So dramatically different. Today was Caden's first bike race. It's pretty exciting to watch. He was nervous, but finished as he had hoped and did crash any other riders. He did decide to hug one tree, but was able to get back on and keep riding, so that was good. That's a pretty impressive hole in that tree. Oh, even goes through one spot. Goodness. I was super impressed with how the whole bike race was run, and he runs under NICA. They were so well organized and prepared, and I was even more impressed that they ended up with more volunteers than they needed, which is never a problem from my experience. But both days I had signed up to volunteer. Yesterday was their pre-ride, today was the actual race. Both days I had signed up to volunteer for particular jobs, and I got there and they said, "Oh, we don't need you, we have more than enough volunteers." It was frustrating because I wanted to help, but also refreshing because you don't see that very many places. So this is pretty neat, where you see the transition here. A lot more pine needles. Lots of pine trees growing here. We had more deciduous where we just were. So there were no holes in all the positions today. And as soon as they asked for more volunteers for any cleanup at the end, they very quickly had more than they needed. So it speaks to the investment that everyone's willing to put into the organization and these kids that are riding. It's pretty awesome. And we can see the creek down there. So that would be 12 Mile Creek. I don't know if it's actually 12 miles. Sometimes creeks and such are given names like that, but then find out later that it doesn't actually apply. So maybe. Beautiful breeze right now for this walk, though. Another aspect of today's race and the whole weekend that I was impressed by is the amount of support everyone has for each other. It's very much about riding your own race and supporting each other in whatever their race is. I ended up assisting the announcer today, and every rider that he talked to asked how it went, but the focus of what he was asking was, did you have fun and did you accomplish your goals? And so they all have their own goals going out there. Some was to finish, and some were to not crash, and some were to win or to get on the podium. So they all get to work towards their own goal, and this being the first race gives them a time so that then they can work towards making a PR in the next race. That's pretty neat. Wow, that tree brought up so much when it came down. A lot of rocks in there. I thought it was really cool today that across the board I kind of saw an attitude of just put yourself out there and jump right in. For plenty of these kids, it was their first race. They just hopped on and went out there and did their best. The ones that had already been there before were cheering on everybody else and giving them confidence, giving the new riders confidence that they were going to be just fine with their ride today. We even had in the JV boys race right off the start, they were all just putting themselves out there, and 5 of them crashed together off at the start. So quite a way to start the race, but they all got themselves back on their bikes and they all finished strong. So that was really awesome. That's something on its own to celebrate, because we're all going to get knocked down. So you got to keep putting yourself out there and get back up. Something I need to remind myself of. But there's plenty of coaches and organizers that don't even have kids participating in this league, but they're out there just helping the kids get more comfortable on their bikes, coaching them, getting more kids on bikes. It's just an awesome investment of time. It's even more than just volunteering their time. They're actually paying to do that. They just see the value in it that much. Really cool. And then all the people that didn't know what they were signing up for to volunteer, and they just said, yep, count me in, whatever you need. Or when they needed more people to step up and do something, yeah, I'm here. I'm putting myself out there. See the creek a little more closely. You can definitely tell it floods out. What are some ways in which you put yourself out there? What goals do you have for yourself that you're going for? Maybe there are some new things you could put yourself out there for, or new goals that you want to set for yourself, something to work towards. It's definitely something I'm trying to figure out, making clear goals that will have achievable points. These big picture dreams and goals are fantastic, but when they're not measurable or realistic to achieve in the near future, it can be discouraging to feel like you're just always working towards something that you can't attain. You can definitely tell we're not too far from Charlotte. On the North Carolina side, it's the Waxhaw area. There's a park on that side, and then I think it's Nesbitt Park. I can't recall what the park is in South Carolina on that side of the trail. But again, it's at a park, so you could park at either end and walk back and forth. Definitely a lot of variety on this trail, so that's cool. Pine needles are always so quiet to walk on. Definitely some gravel spots, some sand, some rocky root areas, but nothing too significant. They do allow bikes on this trail too, so it does look like it'd be a fun trail to ride. We haven't seen any people on bikes today. We've seen a couple people walking and a couple of people running, so getting out there. Creek is a little quieter here. It still has the movement, but there's nothing that it's really rippling over. pretty deep in there. Oh, squirrel's running from me. These are really cute flowers. Really pretty to look out and see all the trees and flowers here growing together. I love these purple flowers. This one looks like it's close enough to really see. They're so unique looking. So many different kinds of petals going on with it. Super fun. Pretty cool mushrooms. Very wavy. It's like lots of growth on these logs up here. Especially since it's a cloudy day, it's starting to seem fairly dark going through the woods under the trees. A nice little boardwalk section here. It does look like it kind of floods some. A pretty section of trail here. The water moving gently. Trail having some contour. All the trees. It's very peaceful out here right now. We're on the other side of the creek now. Looks like this tulip poplar's fighting to continue growing even though it was cut down. All kinds of new little branches growing out of it. Pretty awesome how trees can do that. That's a mess of trees right there that got washed down the creek. Alright, making our way back up to the swinging bridge. So we're in South Carolina. We'll be passing into North Carolina over the creek. South Carolina sign. And down. And then on this side we have our North Carolina sign. Our sun is going down, temperatures are cooling down. I'm glad we're not too far from the car. Getting ready to bust my jacket out. Hope you're having a great day. Put yourself out there somewhere today. Whether it's something you've been continuously doing, don't give up, keep with it, or try something new. I'll see you next time on the trail with Heart.